Hello, I have moved again to a new apartment.
For someone that lived in the basement apartment for 10 years, it is a bit out of the way for me to move twice in 1 year. Let's just say I was looking for character in my new, now old apartment, but that apartment showed me shady. Oh my god, people living in the apartment was misery and hell. Misery and hell. I had the most abhorrent, the most horrible, the most awful property manager in the history of property management in Canada.
For one, the first month I moved into the apartment, the ceiling in my bathroom leaked. Apparently, it was coming up from the unit above. And I also alerted the tenant that lived upstairs. The tenant was like, honestly, this building always has leaks. I'm like, oh my goodness, what have I signed up for? And literally all they did was do foam spray for a leak. And oh my god, it looked so horrible and it looked so stupid. Every time I went to bed, I kept waking up with these very strange bites on my body. My sister, who is a doctor, couldn't even figure out what was causing the bites, but we knew it was some sort of insect. And so I also went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, honestly, you do a lot of outdoorsy activities, so it's possible that something is biting you while you're out there volunteering and planting trees and whatnot. Anyway, one time I got bit and my eyes swelled up, like my eyes were so massive. I woke up with a swollen eye today. I don't even know what caused it. I went to bed and I woke up and my eye was swollen. I took a picture of my eye and sent it to the property manager, and I said, listen, something is biting me in this apartment and you need to get pest control in this unit. So August 1st, they had pest control come to the unit to do a spray. People, I wouldn't wish bed bugs on my worst enemy because it was the most horrible experience ever, having to pack up and bag everything, wash all your laundry. On the pamphlet, it says for bed bugs, you have to spray like at least twice, and then maybe a third spray will be required depending on further investigation. But please tell me why I was still following up with the property manager 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the first treatment on when the second spray was going to be done. So people, for a month and a half, I was on an air mattress sleeping in my living room because I was too scared to sleep in my room and I didn't want to get bit because the bites were horrible. I was apparently allergic to the bed bug bites. Then, to top it off, oh my God, people have been suffering for so long. I've literally been suffering. I also had a fucking mice infestation. Holy. So June 28th, I went into my room and I saw a mouse scurry from under my bed into my closet. I said, interesting. There's a mice here. Or rather, there's a mouse here. And so I jumped and I got scared and I went to my kitchen. And that's when I saw another mouse scurry under the cabinet. I'm like, holy, is it the same mouse or do I have two mice living in this apartment with me? So I did what every reasonable tenant would do. I messaged my property manager. I said, hello, I have spotted a mouse in my apartment. Fancy sending pest control to my unit? And again, no reply, crickets, nothing. They didn't even acknowledge my message. I set up mousetrap. The night I set up mousetrap, I woke up to 3 dead mice. See how they run? 3 dead mice. The mousetrap caught 3 in one night. Oh my, it was so gross. And I set up more traps. And I came back and it had caught 2 more the next day. So 5. I'm like, fuck. So apparently it's probably something that has been ongoing in the building, undisclosed to new unsuspecting tenants like me. Anyway, I was so uncomfortable. I was on an air mattress. I hated the smell of the apartment. I didn't like that some neighbors smoked in the building. Apparently, I thought they were smoking cigarette, but it was something else. And I just didn't feel at home because try as I might, I couldn't get the smell, which I initially thought was just the smell of an old building. And so I thought that if I came in and cleaned it out and, put like all my candles and stuff, it would start to smell nice. I can't tell you how much I spent on air fresheners. Oh, what didn't I buy? I bought incense. I bought sage. I bought the wood you can burn. I bought candles from IKEA. Lots and lots and lots of candles. Anything just to mask the smell coming from my apartment, I bought it. But once I turned it off, the smell of the apartment and the reek from neighboring units just came into my unit, and I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't look forward to going home. I'm so much of an introvert. I like being in my apartment. I like being indoors. I like staying at home and reading or watching TV or being on my bed and ordering takeout. So for me to not feel like I'm at peace where I stay, I'm like, hell to the fuck. No. I signed a 1-year lease, and every time I Googled breaking a lease, they were like, oh, you can't break your lease. If you break your lease, there are all these dire financial consequences of breaking your lease. I was like, oh, should I put in my application for this new apartment? I don't want to have I'm already financially strapped. I don't want to be more financially strapped. And so I'm like, should I get this apartment? Should I not? Should I get this apartment? Should I not? Only for me to see another motherfucking mouse curry underneath my fridge. And I'm like, damn the fucking consequences. Damn the bloody consequences. I am moving out. I don't care. I will deal with the repercussions or the consequences when they arise. But for now, if I live in here for another month, now 6 months, I am going to go insane. So I sent in my application. 2 days after I got the spot, I signed in to move in like literally the next week. When I sent in my 10 days notice that I was going to break my lease, the property manager, someone that has been ignoring me for how many weeks, months now, finally messages me and she goes, oh, the corporation is not going to accept your 10 days notice. It has to be at least 60 days. And I'm like, listen, fool, how many messages have I sent to you that went unanswered? I've been living with bed bugs. I've been living with rats. My ceiling leaked. My neighbors are smoking brack. So anyway, I replied her, literally reiterating all my problems with the unit, which I also included in my letter to break my lease. I replied her and I said, I ask that you give it to the corporation like that. They can do whatever they want to do with the notice because I am out of here. And September 15th, I moved out. So I did have to pay half month for my new place and plus first and last month. So it did cost me quite a bit of money to move. But honestly, there is no price on your peace of mind, man. But you know what even initiated this whole conversation of moving out of the city is that I had a project, right, with a group of people. And I was having a conversation with the cinematographer. And he goes, oh, so are you happy with the apartment? Because I told him I had just moved into the space. And I'm like, honestly, I'm not. I don't like the space. I liked it because I thought it was going to give me a different look for my video, my content creation. But just living in there is god awful. And he was like, well, you work remotely, right? I'm like, yep. I'm like, so why are you in Toronto? You can always move somewhere else. Like, he lives in Kingston and it's affordable, it's nice, it's quiet. And for the price that you're paying, you could get something really nice. And so I'm like, I do work remotely. There's nothing trapping me in Toronto anymore. I think a lot of it was just the fear of moving to the unknown and taking the risk. And, I'm like, oh, I'm single in a big city. What would it be like for being single in a small town? And then my sister is like, Chisom, you've been in Toronto for how many years and you haven't still been in a relationship. So how has being in Toronto helped your love life? I'm like, you know what? You're correct. So, anywho, I packed up my bags and I left the city. And now I got a 2-bedroom. I wouldn't tell you where I am. I want you to guess where you think I am. So I got a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And I'm going to show you my spot. Let me show you. I'm still furnishing and stuff, but I got a new couch, which is nice. I had to leave a lot of my belongings in the old apartment. I lost so much fucking money, man. I had to leave a lot of my stuff, my couch, my rug, my dressers, the 2 ones I just got, which I quite liked. And now I have to furnish 2 bedrooms. I need to buy another bed. And the coffee table, just so that the space can look nice. But my landlord is so sweet. He got me a new plant. Let me show you. So this is my new house plant. It's so pretty. Initially, I thought they were fake, but when I looked closer, I'm like, oh my God, they're real. And I was so happy I have a new plant. Hey, plant. But yeah, it's a nice, spacious apartment. In my previous apartment, I had a love seat, which was a 2-seater couch, but now I have a 3-seater couch. So that means space for more people. And because there is no light in my living room, I have to buy new lamps. So I have 2 table lamps. You've seen my lovely vintage one before. But I also got this handmade wooden lamp, which I think is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful handmade lamp I got at the thrift store, as always, as usual. My kitchen is the best place in this apartment because it's so big. It's not the most aesthetic kitchen, but a massive kitchen and is very suitable for a baker like myself. It's nice, and I also wanted a window in my kitchen. Can you hear that? It's the sound of silence and of nature and of pleasant smells. Oh, when I first moved here, and I'm like, oh my God, I can smell the trees. I could smell the pine trees. Anywho, so now I have moved to a new place and I'm very happy where I am now. Hopefully it remains the same because I was quite happy when I moved into the first place. And now I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it. Anyway, I'll bring you along on my furnishing journey. And thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. For people that have been following me and the growth in my life, I really appreciate you. And if there's one thing life has taught me is that every fear, whether it was breaking my lease, whether it was affordability of the new space or moving to a new city, every fear is just in your mind, literally. That's one thing I'm learning in my 32 years of existence is that whatever you want to do and whatever you set your heart on doing, everything, the entire universe conspires to get that thing for you. And I honestly don't hate that I moved into where I moved in because it did allow me the opportunity to grow. And my project, I was able to complete it in that same apartment. And without that apartment, I wouldn't have scouted the locations I scouted. So every story has been a blessing. But I didn't want the fear of fear, honestly, to impede my growth or to slow me down or to make me miserable. And I'm like, you know what? Listen, movement is energy. And for you to grow, you have to move. And you cannot do that here if you're going to be miserable sleeping on an air mattress. And so I took that leap of faith. Damn the bloody consequences. If there is a consequence for me prioritizing my life, I'm taking it and I will fight it. But now, I live in a cleaner place with no mice that I haven't spotted yet, but I don't think there's mice here. It's a smaller apartment and there are only like 3 units. So yeah. Anywho, I'm happy in my new space and thank you so much for watching. I'm in my new apartment that I need to furnish. I'm gonna cost me a lot of money that I don't have. Anywho, bye.